you'll always be, since our Charlie had a wee dram in that hospitality suite. Oh, he's TV crazy, he's TV mad, and I tell ye it has robbed him of the modesty he had. And in the Guinness Book of Records, his ego none can beat, since our Charlie had a wee dram in that hospitality suite.
In the first film he appeared in at a hospital in Paris, his parents hired a camera crew to come and film his birth. When Charlie saw the cameraman, his face lit up with glee, and he handed him an invoice for his first appearance fee.
Oh, he's TV crazy, he's TV mad, and I tell ye it has robbed him of the modesty he had. And in the Guinness Book of Records, his ego none can beat, since our Charlie had a wee dram in that first hospitality suite. His first by-election special was not a pretty sight. The Labour Party held the seat and the Lib votes were shite. So Charlie had a few wee drams, unconscious on the floor.
Ladies and gentlemen, isn't it wonderful that in this country we all have the inalienable right to stand up here at Speaker's Corner and say whatever we damn well like? I'm going to tell you about the horrors of blood sports.
I'm going to warn against irresponsible behaviour towards sex and moral laxity.
I'm going to expound on the distinctive policies of the Liberal Democrats.
My friends, is it not time that we put an end to the barbaric slaughter of dumb animals by gangs of upper-crust thugs who marauder around the countryside dressed in
Miniskirts and see-through blouses who go around with a quite deliberate intention
On introducing proportional representation in multi-member constituencies.
Many times I've seen foxes running for their lives.
without stopping to buy condoms.
Or read our green papers.
Pursued on horseback by fully grown.
Illustrated manuals which show in detail what to do on one's first night.
Knocking up in the streets.
Then packs of savage dogs rush forward while the hunters shout things like,
"Get 'em off!" and making decent suggestions that willing youngsters aim to find.
To set up an independent central bank.
and what a badger baiting, my friends. Do you know that even in this day and age, people still go to badger sets?
With no clothing on.
As Roy Jenkins did in 1981.
They trap badgers.
In the back seats of cars.
So politicians can interfere with them.
They do appalling things to hares.
In seedy nightclubs.
Guided by our leader, Paddy Ashley.
Is it not time to rise up in our thousands?
In the beds of complete strangers.
To demand devolved regional government.
Quite frankly, I would not be surprised to find
They gone blind.
But only after a referendum.
in every village you can find.
Hundreds of them at it every night.
Which is why we need an energy tax.
In short, I say ban it now.
Before it gets harder.
And remember, only the Liberal Democrats
Go out of doors in all weathers.
Desperate for anything they can get.
Hello, Mother. Hello, Father. Here I am at party conference. My hotel is 3 hours walking. But they say we'll have some fun when Hugh stops talking. I got drunk with Matthew Taylor. All the girls say he's a failure. Remember Charlie Kennedy, he'll be sober when someone can find the remedy. Chancellors
am I? Oh, my head feels like it's coming off.
Actually, it did.
What? The last thing I remember, I was leading an anti-road protest, and we just lay down in front of the traffic.
Well, it was unfortunate you lay down in front of the car driven by Brian Moore Winnie. So, here you are.
Where?
It's the Independent Trust for Perpetual Torment. Incorporating Fire You Like and the National Accreditation Council for Brimstone.
You mean I'm in hell? Now, hang on a minute. I demand to know why I wasn't sent up to heaven. After all, I bought enough tickets last year in the Vicar's Tombola.
It's all on your form, Councillor Muckraker. You see, 1992, drove round constituency at 4 a.m. with a loud hailer shouting, "Vote Labour." 1993, disturbed couple making love while claiming to be a Conservative canvasser.
Surely that can't be bad enough to get me sent down here.
Oh, there's more. Need I remind you about the time in 1972, behind the bike sheds, even though you were 42 years old at the time?
Yes, all right. I confess my sins, but, hang on a minute. What are you doing wearing a suit? Is this some kind of formal occasion?
No, we thought a more professional image since we were privatised. Hell's been bought by a consortium.
A consortium?
Yeah, South West Water, West Midlands Regional Health Authority, and the Westminster City Council. Yes, all expert at bleeding people dry.
That's great.
No, you'll love it here, you'll love it. Did you see the new sign on the way in? We thought "Abandon hope, all ye who enter here" was a little bit passé. Doesn't fit with the customer care ethos. So now it reads, "The Satan Experience, trying tonight."
What are you going to do with me?
We offer customers a choice. Shell suit. This is Shell Suit. He used to be an estate agent in Basildon. We get so many.
Here at the Satan Experience, torments are us. There's a variety of bijou hellets which you can relocate to. Being a politician, Councillor Muckraker, you could always be nailed to a podium while an invited audience bombard you with questions about Liberal Democrat policy papers. Each time you get one wrong, you have to listen to the complete speeches of Bob McLennan. They'd ever war slowly.
Yes, tell me, what is that spiked wheel doing over there, rotating over that pit of hot coals?
Oh, well spotted, Councillor. The flog and roast. It's a Graham Met franchise. Very popular. Yeah, you're tied naked to it, flogged while being roasted. We don't let the Tories near it, they enjoy it too much.
Or you could crawl through a pit of elephant shit and broken glass until Tony Blair decides upon his policies. Should we last one turn?
Or there's Billsy Bub's Kitchen, a nice little bench we have going with the NHS Trust. Now, what happens is, all those they can't cure because the money runs out are sent down here.
Where they're turned into hamburgers, guaranteed free of mad cows.
But with that subtle man-sized flavour.
Is that all the options there are?
All? What do you think this is? Take your pick with Des O'Connor?
No, if that was on, I certainly know I was in hell. No, I mean, can't I invent a torment all of my own? You know, Customer care and all that.
I suppose so. What did you have in mind?
Right. Suppose you make me the leader of a political party that's just won loads of council seats. And then I find that Labour has taken all of my votes everywhere apart from the southwest. And then the new Labour leader starts calling for all the things that I've been calling for. And then everything I say, the Labour leader just copies until the voters can no longer tell the difference.
Blimey!
That's worse than anything we've dreamt up down here. It would mean you'd been turned into Paddy Ashdown.
Are you sure you wouldn't prefer the flogging road?
My name is William Rogers, though my story's seldom told, so I write the Sunday papers with a tale of Blair and Prescott and their promises. I lie unjust, and my gang of three believe like me that Labour is the best. When I joined the soggy party, I was no more than a boy, but the company of liberals made me choke and throw a tantrum, for I felt so scared. So obscure, I was seeking kindred spirits who would make me great again, searching for the fame that left so long ago. Welcomed Tony in and made an offer of the gang of three to help him beat the Liberals. I do declare that I shafted Captain Paddy, and I took some comfort there. And I'm sitting in my ermine robes and cooing Tony Blair, Tony Blair. And the gang of three is led by me. I'm great again. Once again I am home. In the clearing stands a bastard. William Rogers is his name. For eternity, as traitor to the Liberals who will cut him till he cries out in his anger and his shame, I'm a turncoat, I'm a turncoat.
Foreign affairs, how thou doth know them, and yet, in standing down, thou standest up. In years to come it shall be said of thee, his standing beyond understanding stood. Even on the day he got the chop. For knowest thou that I, Paddy, confusion do condemn to death, nor shall next sweet mother of invention turn to second cousin twice removed of bewilderment. So have I framed my royal reshuffle, pellucid as a rock pool, limpid clear. Do thou then my biddings thus. Get thee to transport housing, and thou environment, do thou to education thy mighty force direct, there to trade thy industry for defence, and so to swap thy heritage for economics, that thou shalt take it. Home affairs, go on. Scotland, get thee to Wales. To be or not to be? That is a damn silly question. Charles, go thou into Europe, Charles. Far, far. Oh, Liz. Oh, Liz. 'Tis pity. But there 'tis, Liz. There then. Is not this as clear as day? No more shall critics cry, oh, Ashdown, what game playest he? Useth he a flat back four? Catcheth he fish with a cricket bat? For I have made my grand reshuffle, a seamless coat, what is utterly duffle.
Economic spokesman, this green paper will bring the voters in. Esoteric to punt us up in Berwick, he was getting nowhere, and so he had a cup of tea and rice and beef. Give a job to Charlie, up goes Charlie to the studio. Not one soundbite on Channel 4 or Newsnight, he was getting nowhere, and so we had a cup of tea, and Alan had a think, and he said, I think we should free the Bank of England. It'll go down well in system, economic bedlam, should have got us somewhere, but no. So B said, let's have another cup of tea, and we said, righto. All right, said B, Central Bank of Europe, that their bank is the end of all our woes. Loads of Germans, economic sermons, and it got us nowhere. And so we had a cup of tea, and right, said B, time to go for EMU, monetary union, sure to win us votes. No enjoyment, rising unemployment, we was getting nowhere. And so we had a cup of tea, and Paddy had a think, and he said, look, Beef, you're causing an imbroglio. I'm changing your portfolio. In a month or two, I will think what you can do. All right, said Beef, home affairs is better, family values is what I will suggest. But a video nasties featuring pederasty landed on the top of his desk. So Paddy and me had another cup of tea, and then we went home.
There now follows a party election broadcast by the Conservatives, sponsored by the only donors they have left, the Brewers.
Good evening. Conservatives believe in lower taxes, despite, regrettably, having been forced to raise certain taxes last year. We know this is troubling many of you. Every day, sacks of mail arrive at Central Office, expressing a famous grouse. Why have you put up the taxes? Understandably, tax rises make people feel bitter. But the alternative would have been higher VAT, 69% at least. Britain must live within its means. If we conceded large pay increases to the teachers, other workers would think that very wrong. And of course the economy would soon be back in the old peculiar way. Conservatives want to create a prosperous society in which we can all share it. We will be gin to do that once the threat of inflation is absent. When Labour left office, the economy was on the racking. In your thousands, you turned blue, none. Of you need regret that, as we have laid the basis of sound economic grolsch. When we saw inflation returning, we used our brains and nipped it in the bud. And in Europe, we are no longer in hock. We have our opt-outs there in black and white, and cannot be dictated to by the Commission for no good Riesling. We Conservatives have mead links with like-minded parties, like the Italian neo-fascists. You may think that curacao, but, well, any port in a storm. Don't let the other parties ruin it. Labour is still the party of the red stripe. And what of the Liberal Democrats, with their Harbys and Fosters? So vote Conservative tomorrow. That's the spirit. Show courage. Good night.
undergraduate, Tony Blair has had his future planned. One day he would make it to Prime Minister, and in the evening be a singer in the band. Tony Blair, blah, 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 what a born yawn. Tony, blah, blah, blah. Tony Blair, blah, 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 what a born yawn. Tony, blah, blah, blah. Smoothly he involved himself in politics, found himself a seat in Labour land, climbed the greasy pole with all among his tricks, and to the evening he's the singer in the band. Tony Blair, blah, 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 what a born yawn. Tony, blah, blah, blah. Tony Blair, blah, 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 what a born yawn. Tony, blah, blah, blah. In a couple of years he is in the front bench team, and everyone knows he'll be leader soon. He likes peaches and he likes cream. Happy ever after in the front bench team, where the bland have come to lead the bland, climbing ever nearer to achieve his dream. But in the evening he's still singing with the band. Tony Blair, blah, 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 what a born yawn. Tony, blah, blah, blah. Tony Blair, blah, 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 what a born yawn. Tony, blah, blah, blah. In a couple of years he is in the front bench team, and everyone knows he'll be leader too. He likes peaches and he likes cream. Now he is the Labour leader, Tony Blair. Voting voters try to understand. Every time they look they find he isn't there, and the others call him tone deaf in the band. Tony Blair, blah, 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 what a born yawn. Tony, blah, blah, blah. Tony Blair, blah, 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 what a born yawn. Tony, blah, blah, blah. And if you want some fun, sing Tony, blah, blah, blah.
Ladies and gentlemen, there will now be a short interval when you can buy a drink or smoke a joint if you prefer.
Now, a special message from the leader of the Liberal Democrats, Paddy Ashdown.
Fellow Liberal Democrats, you know, we are very fortunate to be here today, attending one of the most interesting and exciting. It is certainly a very special week for me, because it gives me a unique opportunity to explain to you, in some detail, our distinctive message. And of course, it's also been a special week for one of my parliamentary colleagues, our newly elected president, Bob McLennan. When we left Torquay a year ago, few of us could have predicted what a difficult year would lie ahead. The fact that we've come through is testament to the loyalty, dedication, and hard work of you all. There has been some sterling work by our colleagues in the House of Lords. And you know, I have enjoyed the support of a really first-rate team in the House of Commons. Most of all, I know I can continue to rely on the support of ordinary party members and so the party is in good heart, and we have the confidence to be for the first time, we have won seats in the European Parliament. And you'll be glad to hear that our colleagues there are working closely with our allies in the ELDR. More and more councillors, and in particular, we are doing more than any other party in Britain to bring women into politics. We are assembling our campaign team ready for the next general election. Sadly, Des Wilson will be unable to repeat the superb job he did last time, as he must attend to important duties elsewhere. To hear that Des's shoes have been ably filled by Richard Holt. Supported, of course, by our new party president, Bob McLennan. And next week, I'll be sending Bob on a visit to Sarajevo. To the Bosnian people. There has been intense media speculation about our relationships with other parties. But let me tell you this. I do not regard the election of Tony Blair as a cause for panic. I must tell you frankly, we must not reject out of hand the prospect of dialogue with other parties. Discuss this issue in a peaceful, democratic I know some of you did not agree with those of our colleagues in the Lords who are calling for closer ties with Labour. But we must respect their right as Liberal Democrats. Can resolve this question. And shift the debate towards discussion of our distinctive message.
Signatures, vote, raise. Let's get this Euro campaign going. Let's vote, vote, vote.
Look, hey, TCJ, it's Europe. It's kind of boring.
Come on, guys, let's hear those distinctive messages.
Okay, TCJ, I figure that since we are the only black gang on the block that is in favor of federalism, we ought to get out there and tell the people about it.
Choo-choo, how many times I have to tell you guys we're going softly, softly and all that Euro enthusiasm?
Duh. Ain't we meant to be a party of principle, TCJ?
No, brains, an election to be fought. Where are you principles? What are a few principles when we could make a breakthrough to a whole new class of dustbin? Now, where was I? Ah, the white paper. Listen carefully, gang. The Liberal Democrats are in favour of Europe, up to the point. And they wish to affirm that they've always supported some federalism subject to certain conditions.
But hey, TCJ, ain't that just a bit soggy?
Yeah, TCJ, that sounds like all the other parties.
Duh. That ain't distinctive.
Ah, but wait, here's the killer punch. We give the folks a referendum.
But ain't they the tools of the desperate despots?
Yeah, TCJ, ain't referendums used by failed politicians that have backed themselves into the corner?
You don't think that doesn't exactly describe the Liberal Democrats right now?
Well, hey, you should know you're on all them committees with important folks like Richard Holman, Roger Little, and Robert McLennan.
Slick, must you stand there mouthing yourselves? This has work to be done. Oh, gee, it's Officer Ashdown. Me and the guys were just talking about how politicians make sudden officer referendums.
Oh, yeah. TCJ was saying how they're used by the fans.
Who pay no attention. Officer Ashdown, a man of your wisdom and discernment will be interested in this draft manifesto I have in this trash can.
What's this, fluffy head? We have a long-standing commitment to Europe. Wise up, get skeptical. And just what's this, TCJ? Liberal Democrats oppose the social chapter?
Gee, I'm sorry, Officer Ashton. I was going by your 1992 speech. Have you changed since then?
You know very well I support the social chapter nowadays, TCJ.
Oh, I see. Very flexible, Officer Ashton. Very wise for a politician who wants to draw votes from right across the spectrum. Don't want the folks calling you Mr. Consistency, eh?
That's enough from you, TCJ. You know how you was going to run my general election campaign?
Why, yes, I was going to be fully employed on that.
Well, that's where you're wrong. In your case, it's just going to be a case of full employability.
Ain't that just a case of inventing the meaningless cliche?
Hey, Brains, I'm surprised at you. You're talking to Officer Ashdown, the man who invented that unforgettable phrase, our distinctive message.
And Officer Ashland was the first person to say on network television, I have to tell you, quite frankly.
We never told him nothing.
You, TCJ, are staying in the alley. My campaign is going to be run by Richard Holm.
They need the slammer for impersonating a politician?
But with Richard in charge, I got an important job for you, TCJ, and the whole gang.
And what might that very important post be?
Walking behind Richard with a bucket and a shit shovel.
His name's Charles Kennedy. He's joined the House of Commons 'cause he's mad about TV. Now on all 4 channels nightly, his face you'll always meet, since our Charlie had a wee dram in that hospitality suite. Oh, he's TV crazy, he's TV mad, and the telly it has robbed him of the modesty he had. And in the Guinness Book of Records, his ego none can beat, since our Charlie had a wee drum in that hospitality suite.
In the first film he appeared in at a hospital in Perth. His parents hired a camera crew to come and film his birth. When Charlie saw the cameraman, his face lit up with glee, and he handed him an invoice for his first appearance fee.
Him all the modesty he had, and in the Guinness Book of Records, his ego none can beat, since our Charlie had a wee dram in that hospitality suite. His first by-election special was not a pretty sight. The Labour Party held his seat and the Lib Dem vote was shite. So he had a few wee drams and fell unconscious on the floor. So they propped him up into his chair and broadcast Charlie's snore. Oh, he's TV crazy, he's TV mad, and the telly it has robbed him of the modesty he had. And in the Guinness Book of Records, his ego none can beat, since our Charlie had a wee dram in that hospitality suite.
He was guest on Through the Keyhole, and his house was a disgrace. Lloyd Grossman slipped in a pool of sick and fell flat on his face. No one on the panel could make sense of Grossman's spiel, so they had a guess whose house it was and said,
"It's David Steele's." He's TV mad, and the telly it has robbed him of the modesty he had. And in the Guinness Book of Records, his ego none can beat, since our Charlie had a wee dram in that hospitality suite. Oh, he's TV crazy, he's TV mad, and the telly it has robbed him of the modesty he had. And in the Guinness Book of Records, his ego none can beat, since our Charlie had a wee dram in that hospitality suite.
Next. Right. Now, let's look at your qualifications. Cycling proficiency, O-level technical drawing. Oh, I'm a former leader of the Liberal Party.
And a former leader of the joint leader, indeed, of the Alliance.
Well, it's all right. We won't stop your benefit for that. Let's see. Kept Jim Callaghan in power, told Roy Jenkins to form his own party. Well, it's not much of a CV, is it, really?
Well, I may be unemployed, but I'm one of the foremost British politicians of my age. And I'm now looking for a serious challenge now that I've decided to leave Parliament.
Well, okay, I'll have a look, see what we've got. There's dishwashing at £1 an hour, but you might find with the cycling proficiency that you're overqualified for that.
Look here.
Ooh, Bosnia. Oh no, chap took that the other week. Very, very similar CV to yours. Oh, now here's one you might like. Person duty to oversee peace process in strife-torn spot, to separate and reconcile warring factions, and to put an end to bloody fratricidal carnage.
That's more like it. How much does it pay?
Ooh, £3.50 an hour, luncheon vouchers, season ticket. It's not bad, actually.
Right, I'll take it. What's the job?
It's leader of the Conservative.
least celebrated misfits. Was, I think, Andy Warhol, who encouraged us to believe that everyone could be famous for 15 minutes. Had the man whose career I should be profiling tonight not had the forethought to engineer his own brief spell of notoriety, all other transitory acclaim might well have passed him by. As Mr. Smokey Robinson and his miracles declaimed with grim but catchy regularity in their tune, The Tears of a Clown, the man who we shall be looking at tonight is sad, sad, so much sadder than sad. For some, the distinction of being the one Liberal Democrat in a mire of socialist scum would have sufficed. For others, the knowledge of a secure third place in a no-hope outer-city seat with inner-city problems would have been the icing on the cake. But for this man, a man of one single and undignified solitary moment, an even more heady candidate's cocktail was chosen. He decided to join an organisation that takes itself so seriously that no one else is able to. Not content with merely joining, he threw himself into all the rituals and activities associated with the Candidates Association. Participated in the endless rounds of toadying, rubbers of ingratiation, and was a regular attendee at the now legendary weekend retreats with themes as diverse as the Gavin Grant years, narcissism for beginners, and the usually oversubscribed how to be more like Lindsay Granshaw. All of those watching this television portrait tonight will, I'm sure, recognise all the traits of a very sad bastard. But one who, it must be said, seized the high ground and abseiled down. He could not tell a lie, but was happy to live one, and who, until he was recently disabused, thought that a principled stand was a clothes rail in a chain of retailers of ladies' fashion. A man who, by his own admission, found it easier to be manipulated by the Labour Party than he now finds it to coordinate two fingers and a fist in aid of make rabbity shadows on his bedroom wall. Tonight's edition of Sad Bastards is dedicated to a former Liberal Democrat by-election candidate for Newham North East, now a very ordinary member of the Labour Party, Alec Kellaway.
socialists and Tories. This country has been governed for 15 years by rich, bloated Tories wallowing in luxury like the privileged pigs in shit they are. It is the historic mission of the Labour Party to poke one up the bastards. Don't kick the Tories out. Kick them in there. We, the new Labour Party, will seek support from all sections of the community for our slightly radical programme of political renewal. Prosperous, successful, you're very welcome in my new Labour Party. The British people have been starved of the red, raw, bloody meat of bloody socialism. Yes, we in the Labour Party will offer the British electorate an exciting political diet of stir-fried tomatoes in Islington. The trade union movement will remain a potent force. Yes, the trade union movement will remain a patent farce. The holiday for the rich is over. We will screw their bank accounts until they squeak. Because the new modern Labour Party is always susceptible to the lure of dinners in the City of London. We must boldly go forth and tell the people of Britain that we are with them all the way. Yes, we want to tell the British electorate what to believe when we think they're ready to hear what we haven't yet decided to tell them. We will tell them that our policies are none of their business. We must not do any deals with those liberal wankers. But we are always open to suggestions of pacts from any quarter. Comrades, the flames of socialist courage will light the pipes of the proletariat and warm the whiskers of the weary working classes. There is not a cigarette paper between John Prescott and myself with regard to this one. Comrades, let me make one thing absolutely clear. Unemployment, poverty, soup du jour, abracadabra. Call that a cure for plumbago, signor? Foul fiend, flippity gibbet, so I could tip it, snippets and wickets. Comrades, good night. I think this is a policy on which John and I are in total agreement. Comrades, bollocks.
You, Margaret! I'd just like to thank you all for watching our little party political broadcast here tonight. If you've enjoyed it, then it's all been worthwhile. So good night, and I love you all. As I always say, climb every staircase. Never mind your feet.
Scour every tunnel till you win your seat. Oh, you know that Scottish member, and his name's Charles Kennedy. He's joined the House of Commons 'cause he's mad about TV, now on all 4 channels nightly. His face you'll always meet, since our Charlie had a wee dram in that hospitality suite. Oh, he's TV crazy, he's TV mad, and I tell ye it has robbed him all the modesty he had. And in the Guinness Book of Records, his ego none can beat, since our Charlie had a wee dram in that hospitality suite.
In the first film he appeared in at a hospital in Paris, his parents hired a camera crew to come and film his birth. When Charlie saw the cameraman, his face lit up with glee, and he handed him an invoice for his first appearance fee.
Oh, he's TV crazy, he's TV mad, and I tell ye it has robbed him all the modesty he had. And in the Guinness Book of Records, his ego none can beat, since our Charlie had a wee dram in that first confronting suite. His first by-election special was not a pretty sight. The Labour Party held the seat and the Lib Dem votes were shite. So Charlie had a few wee drams, unconscious on the floor.
Johnson? Switch on. Is it too fast? Yeah. I stopped. Okay. Can you start before we come on? Is that long enough? Yeah, but I'll just keep running.
My name is William Rogers, though my story's seldom told, so I write the Sunday papers with a tale of Blair and Prescott and their promises. I lie and jest, and my gang of 3 believes like me that Labour is the best, and I lie, lie, lie. When I joined the soggy party, I was no more than a boy, but the company of liberals made me choke and throw a tantrum, for I felt so scared. So obscure I was seeking kindred spirits who would make me great again, searching for the fame that left me long ago. Lies are lies, 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 lies are lies, 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 lies. So I threw away my principles I'm great again. Once again I am home. In the clearing stands a bastard, William Rogers is his name. He'll be remembered for eternity as traitor to the Liberals who will cut him till he cries out in his anger and his shame, I'm a turncoat, and expedience is my game, and I lie, 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 lie. Lies, oh, lie, 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 lies, oh, lie, 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 lie.
Bit of harmonic distortion like that here, isn't there?
It's the receiver.
Is that
I
receiver,
think-
is it?
I think the batteries need changing in that line. Sorry, the transmitter.
I'm going to two music. No. Down to music.
They're both on radios.
I'll do it this bit. Genesis ready. So we come down to the intro music.
Ever since he was an undergraduate, Tony Blair had got his future planned. One day he would make it to Prime Minister, and in the evening be a singer in the band. Tony Blair, blah, 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 what a born yawn. Tony, Tony, blah, blah, blah. Tony Blair, blah, 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 what a born yawn. Tony, Tony, blah, blah, blah.
Smoothly he involved himself in politics, found himself a seat in Labour land, climbed the greasy pole with all among his tricks, and in the evening he's a singer in the band. Tony Blair, blah, 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 what a born yawn. Tony, Tony, blah, blah, blah. Tony Blair, blah, 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 what a born yawn. Tony, Tony, blah, blah, blah.
In a couple of years he is in the front bench team, and everyone knows he'll be leader soon. He likes beaches and he likes cream. Happy ever after in the front bench team, where the bland have come to lead the bland, moving ever closer to achieve his dream. But in the evening he's still singing in the band. Tony Blair, blah, 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 what a born yawn. Tony, Tony, blah, blah, blah. Tony Blair, blah, 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 what a born yawn. Tony, Tony, blah, blah, blah.
In a couple of years he is in the front bench team, and everyone knows he'll be leader soon. He likes peaches and he likes cream. Now he is the Labour leader, Tony Blair. Everyone, when goes, sorry. Sorry. Do you want to just pick up the last piece again? Yeah.
What a born yawn. Tony, Tony, blah, blah, blah. Tony Blair, blah, 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 what a born yawn. Tony, Tony, blah, blah, blah. Blair, blah, blah, blah. What a bore. Don't Tony, blah, blah, blah. And if you want some fun, sing Tony, blah, blah, blah.
Politician who wants to attract votes from right across the spectrum. You don't want the folks to call you Mr. Consistency, huh?
You know how you was going to run my general election campaign?
Why, yes, I was going to be fully employed on that.
Well, that's where you're wrong. In your case, it's just going to be full employability.
Ain't that a case of inventing the meaningless cliche?
Brains, I'm surprised at you. You're talking to the man who invented that unforgettable phrase, our distinctive message.
Yeah, and Officer Ashton was the first man to say on network television, I have to tell you, quite frankly.
But he never told of nothing.
UTCJ are staying in the alley. My campaign is going to be run by Richard Hall.
Oh, sorry. A.T. in the slammer for impersonation politician.
Yeah, but with Richard in charge, I got a special job for you, TCJ, and the whole gang.
And just what might that very important job be?
Walking back.
O thou, firm and brave, unbending steel. Foreign affairs, how thou doth know them, and yet, in standing down, thou standest up. In years to come it shall be said of thee, his standing beyond understanding stood. Even on the day he got the chop. For knowest thou that I, Paddy, confusion do condemn to death, nor shall let sweet mother of invention turn to second cousin twice removed of bewilderment. So have I framed my royal reshuffle, pellucid as a rock pool, limpid clear. Do thou then my biddings thus. Get thee to transport housing, and thou environment, do thou to education thy mighty force direct, there to trade thy industry for defence, and so to swap thy heritage for economics, that thou shalt take it. Home affairs, go on. Scotland, get thee to Wales. To be or not to be? That is a damn silly question. to Europe, Charles. Far, far. Oh, Liz. Oh, Liz. 'Tis pity. But there 'tis, Liz. There, then. Is not this as clear as day? No more shall critics cry, "Oh, Ashdown, what game playest he? Useth he a flat-back four? Catcheth he fish with a cricket bat? For I have made my grand reshuffle, a seamless coat, what is utterly duffle."
Fellow Liberal Democrats, you know, we are very fortunate to be here today, attending one of the most interesting and exciting. It is certainly a very special week for me, because it gives me a unique opportunity to explain to you, in some detail, our distinctive message. And of course, it's also been a special week for one of my parliamentary colleagues, our newly elected president, Bob McLennan. When we left Torquay a year ago, few of us could have predicted what a difficult year would lie ahead. The fact that we've come through is testament to the loyalty, dedication, and hard work of you all. There has been some sterling work by our colleagues in the House of Lords. And you know, I have enjoyed the support of a really first-rate team in the House of Commons. Most of all, I know I can continue to rely on the support of ordinary party members. So the party is in good heart, and we have the confidence to be the party. For the first time, we have won seats in the European Parliament, and you'll be glad to hear that our colleagues there are working closely with our allies in the ELDR. More and more councillors, and in particular, we are doing more than any other party in Britain to bring women into politics. We are assembling our campaign team ready for the next general election. Sadly, Des Wilson will be unable to repeat the superb job he did last time, as he must attend to important duties elsewhere. To hear that Des's shoes have been ably filled by Richard Holt. Supported, of course, by our new party president, Bob. And next week, I'll be sending Bob on a visit to Sarajevo. Intense media speculation about our relationships with other parties. But let me tell you this, I do not regard the election of Tony Blair as a cause for panic. I must tell you frankly, we must not reject out of hand the prospect of dialogue with other parties. Instead, our party should discuss this issue in a peaceful, democratic I know some of you did not agree with those of our colleagues in the Lords who are calling for closer ties with Labour. But we must respect their right as Liberal Democrats.